exercise, we're going to talk about like our lives and how they've improved over time. We're all going to find ourselves in like some state where, like, even if you're just like a teenager, you're going to grow into an adult, right? So where were you at a previous stage, and like what is the meaningful journey that you've taken to where you are right now? So you want to go, or do you want to go first, Leewater? Help us out.
You know, you're just gonna throw me.
Yeah. Put you on the bus. Yeah.
So where am I now?
Like where would, like, I try to describe like the place you were at the beginning, like let's say like 10 years ago, you know what I mean, like before the whole Leewater enterprise, you know what I mean, started, and like what mindset you were that caught you to start that project, and then like where are you now, and like what was the growth process?
Okay. So, yeah, initially, I was really just compelled to be where I'm at right now. And I'll say that by just saying, you know, I was just getting caught up in the same routine of, hey, let's go to work, let's come home, let's take care of the fam.
Yeah.
Let's go to work, let's come home, take care of the fam. And then it's like, but there's an artistic side that I'm just neglecting. So after a while, I'm like, I'm just not stimulated by the same little routine, the same cycle.
So from a place of boredom?
Yeah, but to the point where it just felt like a piece of me was just dying.
Yeah, would you like watch videos?
More and
like,
more.
I need that.
Well, I would see different people living living out their passion or walking out their passion, and I'm like, I have to do that.
Yeah.
I have to. Like, even if it's in my spare time, even if it's like 5-10 minutes a day, I need to like do something and work towards that.
What was the first big step you took?
Probably moving out here, joining the Color 8.
Okay.
And that's where I was like, okay, this would be the outlet.
Yeah.
Especially just as a writer, because that's what I've been doing, you know, since forever. Just writing.
They're a great outlet. I love the Color 8.
So
you joined the Color 8. What's your mindset when you're joining the Color 8? Like, what do you think about the whole thing? And what do you think about yourself at the time?
You know, it was just a perfect outlet because I've always had that music background, and everything's always been confined. Everything's always been super rigid. And then joining a band, that just gave me the freedom to explore different genres, different content, different everything. So it was just kind of, like I said, the perfect outlet.
Okay. And what was were you anxious at the beginning, and then like did you find like a place where you like maybe aren't so anxious?
You know, I'll be honest, I wasn't even anxious. It just felt like, oh wow, I can actually breathe.
Okay, so it was a sense of
like
relief.
It was just, it was relief. Like, okay, here's the outlet. Like, this is it. Okay, there's a small segment of time.
When did that feeling like most become real?
Probably instantly.
Instantly, just as soon as it happened?
It was just instant. Because everything, it was just a perfect contrast. Like, working in my industry, I'm in the tech field, so everything has to be precise. Everything has to be by the book. It's a lot of structure. So, yeah, once I got to that space, the musical space, it's like, oh, okay, I can actually breathe. Like, now I feel like a little bit of me is coming back.
And what do you feel about yourself right now?
Right now, I feel like I have the best balance that I can achieve
between like life and
art, passion.
That's awesome.
Because Color 8 was a great springboard, and then now what I'm doing is just writing as much as I can, working with other collaborators when I can. But you know, I just have full control. So it's a nice space.
And so what's next for the Leewater project?
Just to expand the brand.
Yeah.
Expand the brand in terms of writing, and then try to get into more of a space of television, commercials, jingles, things of that sort.
Dope. Last little part for this one, and then we'll move on to someone else. Say something to your past self and something to your future self.
Something to my past self.
Yeah. You can sound like you can say good job. Yeah,
it'll be okay.
I'm proud of you, little one.
It'll be okay.
Work out. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of fear back there.
Okay.
And then future self, just be free.
Be free.
Be free.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Who's next? Who's the bold one? I'll let you guys choose. You ready?
Yeah, I can answer.
Okay. You were in a lesser state at one point. Now you're here.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like to be back then?
Speaking on just my art,
Yes.
it just felt like I just learned this talent, and I'm just realizing like, oh, I can do this. But coming out here, it was like, oh, I want to take this serious. Like, it's people that are out here that actually take this thing serious. There are groups, or if you would like to call it like scenes, where there are people that congregate or contribute to some type of event where like there's a platform for my art, which is poetry. So that started making me want to be more consistent, more like, okay, let me actually care more about what I'm saying and it makes sense. Let me not just be rhyming words, because when I perform it sound good. It's like I want to sound good, but there's people listening to me, so I want to make sure when I sound good, what I'm saying is good.
Yeah. So it took you moving out here, and where'd you move from? And then, like, what was the first group you embedded yourself with?
I moved from Saginaw, Michigan.
Saginaw, shout out.
Yeah.
Truth be told, you know.
Right. Truth be told.
Yeah.
That's the first. Yeah.
Yes.
Super specific place in Michigan.
Yeah. I moved out here, and it took me 8 years to realize, like, oh, I lived in a small town.
Oh, very small town.
I was over here like, yeah, I live in the city. No, baby. That's why they think you sound country, because you live out in the country. Yeah.
So it was an 8-year cultural shock?
It was. It finally hit me. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, you were not. No, Detroit is like one of the biggest cities. You were not in Detroit, babe.
Yeah.
So yes, that was a culture shock after living here for so long.
Okay, cool. And so, like, how long between like getting out here and going to art for the first time, and like starting to do that whole like enterprise? Because you said you like got out here and then you started joining some groups and seeing how serious it was. So was it like right away, or did it take you a few years?
It didn't take me long, actually. I got out here and I was going to Australia Mountain, and Ronnie Dijon, that's where I met him at during like a, what do you call it? Like a talent show type of thing. And he had told me about ASU, Welcome Black Explosion.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Welcome Black.
Yes, ASU. Let me tell you something.
That's where I met Dom.
Period. That was a good performance. I really enjoyed that. I hope that they're still doing that, because that was dope. But that was a lot of people. And then Ronnie told me about Dom, and I was like, okay. And then like I had met Dom, and then I had just was talking to AB about this, where I was like, oh, me and Dom go back.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember, he invited me to like an intimate open mic, and it was like at an apartment complex. And I was like, oh, that was a long time ago. So yeah, then after that, like I had been performing like at Dom events, and then I just started getting with like Cosmic Q and Jay Tatum, going to like Poetic Soul. Yeah. And then they started Toe to Toe.
Toe to Toe, I want to go out there.
Yeah, it was dope. I was like, this is what I need right now, because I was like, open mics is cool, but you realize that everybody is bringing their talent with them to open mic, and it's like, I can't gain nothing from an experience if ain't nobody on this level with me, or at least higher, so I can learn something, so I can gain something. So I kind of just got tired of it, honestly. And I was just like, look, unless I'm featured in something, or I'm featured on somebody's stage, or I'm asked to be on this stage, I don't want to do it. Yeah. And so they came up with Toe to Toe, and I finally got to go, and I was like, okay, this was fire. I like that it was competition, because Sahar the Star was there. She came along, and she was like, oh, I'm going to do a poem. I was like, okay, that's cool, because, you know, I do poetry. I got it. And then, like, she was like, second round, she was like, I'm finna sing. I was like, hold on.
You can sing too?
Let me go in my phone. Let me find my...
Get in the bag.
Yeah, let me get in the bag, because Sahar be coming with that voice, and then I'll be like, see, now you going to make me, where we going to be toe to toe. See, get it?
Now we got to go toe to toe.
Yeah. So it was just like, nah, I appreciated that. And so they supposed to be doing like all of their winners during the month of November, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, they all having us come back on the 30th of this month. And so I'm like, okay, bet. Because now I see the artist that won. I'm like, I need to practice.
Puts on the 8 Mile.
Yeah. I'm like, I need to get it together.
Okay. So where were you most like nervous in this whole process? Like, or have you been nervous? Because I might, you know, how have you been comfortable the whole time?
Oh, I get nervous all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. A crowd is a crowd to me. Like,
Yeah.
it could be 3 people in a crowd, and it could be like 350. And to me, I'm still gonna be nervous.
Yeah. I'm talking about in like the developmental sense. Like, there's a place where like, you know, like any one of us, you know, like we're little kids, we're behind our mom's knee. You know what I mean? We gotta get out there. You know what I mean? So like, what was that like, moving from one space to another like for you?
Again, it seemed pretty easy to me because although I wasn't taking it as serious when I was back home when I was younger, I still, in a way, was.
Okay.
So I was still performing in places. Like, I still would do my school time shows that I did since middle school. I would still, I would start getting asked to perform, like recite poems at churches or conferences. So it's kind of like I already was used to it. So really, I don't know, I guess more so I would just tune it out and just be like, look, all I want is for y'all to hear what I gotta say.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm not caring that y'all sitting out there because I care, but I want y'all to hear me. So I can't worry about my nervousness. It's not until I get off stage where I'm shaking like a jitterbug or something.
Okay, cool. So you've been honing this like your whole life pretty much.
Yeah.
And, like, you found your freedom once you got out here and started doing it.
Yeah.
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 Now you're embedded, you going toe to toe, huh?
Yup.
Well, that's a good growth journey. So what would you say to your past self, and then what would you want to say to your future self?
To my past self, consistency is key.
Yeah,
Like, and also don't half-ass shit, because when you half-ass, you get half-ass results.
True.
And then the only person you're gonna be mad at is yourself in the end.
Yep.
Because it's only you that gave that half-ass job and then got them half-ass results. So that's your responsibility.
It's true. It's your responsibility. 100%.
Yeah. But to my future self, I would say, make sure you're being kinder to yourself.
Nice. I like that
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
because I'm also very hard on myself. And I have like a lot of people, like my mom, like my girlfriend, it'd be like, you hard on yourself, you hard on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it'd be feeling like, no, I'm not. Because
Yeah.
what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah. It's my drive, yeah.
Yeah.
Conditioning.
Yeah,
Mental,
you know,
yeah.
it's just like, so it's like, just make sure that you paying attention to all the accomplishments you made, and you're not just going goal setting, and I accomplished that goal, now let me move on to the next one. Like, celebrate that, be kind to yourself, understand that you making moves out here.
So practice a little bit more paying attention to celebrating yourself. And
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay. Last one. Okay. So where's your journey in your art start, and like where were you when you decided to get into it?
Well, I'm not from here. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, but I was originally born in Michigan City,
I'm
Indiana.
from here, by the way, so there's not just a bunch of people in Arizona talking about. Yeah. I'm here. I'm a real one. So yeah.
I'm a real one.
Desert born and
I'm a real
raised.
Arizonian.
Yeah. Desert born and raised.
But where I'm from, it's like the people's mindset there is like, if they think they can't do it, then they think you can't do it.
Oh yeah, I
And
hate
so
that.
I come from a background, like my family's not really supportive like that.
Oh, damn.
And I was never really that girl like back then. Like I was very like self-conscious. I had very low self-esteem, but I always had it in me to do something extra. Like
Okay.
I was in theater, I was in band, but I really liked theater because it's so weird. One reason why I hated theater, or I loved theater so much, is because I hated myself so much where I just wanted to be somebody else. I just wanted to pretend to be somebody else, but I was good at it. So I kind of went from there, and theater really helped me open up, like to put myself out there. And then I started my YouTube channel, and then I just started to put myself out there even at a different scale online.
So what was that process like where like you don't have the YouTube channel, right? You're kind of not sure about yourself in the sense that the way that you were saying. And then it's like, how do you transform yourself?
You know, I filmed myself for a really long time before I put it out there. But when I was in school, like just around that time, I was bullied like really bad. And I sat and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, do I not like myself because I don't like myself? Or do I not like myself because of how other people are making me feel? So when I thought about it, I was like, I'm cool. Like I
Yeah.
like myself. I'm just letting what other people think about me affect how I feel. I don't care no more. I don't care no more. So I just started putting myself out there. I start posting stuff, filming more stuff, and people would talk, and even my family would be like, "Stop doing that. It's dumb."
Yeah.
Like just try to discourage me. So it really like happened like when I moved to Arizona. Like I got so much support out here, like crazy.
Swear.
Like background fun, I used to get clowned all the time.
Oh,
Like,
man.
who do you think you are? You're
Yeah.
trying to get this. I came out here, people were like, "Oh, you're so quirky. You're so different. Oh, you're cool. Oh, I like the vibe." It's like different out
Yeah.
here on the West Coast. So it was just easier for me to like grow my platform and start developing my brand as an individual. When I came to Arizona, it was so weird.
Yeah.
Just the support out here is just so different and crazy. Like,
Community is a big part of it. Like each one of you guys had like something about embedding yourself in some part of a community and then finding yourself like thriving that way.
And from where I'm from, like nobody was doing like social media back then.
Yeah.
Like, nobody was doing doing YouTube, nobody was filming themselves. So for me to be going around like filming everything, they thought it was
wasn't
weird.
new.
Yeah, like people are like, what are
Right,
you doing? Like,
right.
why are you filming? But out here, people are just more open. There's a lot of other people doing the same thing. So you have some, oh, you got a channel too? Oh my God, that's crazy. I never met anybody else with a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What's your channel about? What are you doing? You want to collab? It's like easier to grow your brand like out here. So I really appreciate Arizona. Like, I like it out here.
I will say I appreciate Arizona for that.
Yeah,
'cause
everything just started
thanks.
changing when you come to Arizona. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
praised more. So I don't know. It's weird because like I'm from like I guess people out here say Midwest. I say up north, whatever. I felt mad different back home. Like I felt like I didn't fit in hardly
Right.
anywhere. And like the main place where I really could fit in was like church. And even then it was just like
Yeah.
I feel so
not
different.
feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like you were saying, just coming out here and finding a community and like growing within that community is like different. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the strange part about like I think like human growth. Like you can go off in the woods and grow by yourself, but then you kind of grow away from everything.
Right.
But like when you embed yourself in a community and you actually get to be you in that community, then you're finding like you know what I mean? You're not like this like detached thing from reality. And it like a lot of the like this guy John Vervaeke up at the University of Toronto, he's got a lot of scientific basis for the argument that you should embed yourself in communities. Like if we're going to have a community or like practice of the transcendent, the practice of transcendent is going to be information sharing and knowledge creation within a group of community. You know, so you can have the wise ones, they're the older ones who know how to come up, like what do we do with this new information or this new technique? You know. So it's nice having that. So I guess right now we'll be at what do you have for your past self to say, like, and then your future self?
I would say, like, if I can say anything to myself in the past, I just wish I never cared what people thought about me
The whole
sooner.
time? Yeah, the whole time, yeah.
Yeah, because I could have been farther if I would have just trust my own gut, trust my own instinct, and not let other people's opinions of me affect how I feel about myself and affect how I feel about my art or whatever I decide to do. And I would say for my future self, I would just say just not getting discouraged, being hard on yourself, like. And it's hard, like, being a social media influencer or a person, like, you always look and you see what other people are doing, and then you're like, dang, what am I doing? Like, you're just trying to keep up. But just everything's at your own pace, so don't try to, like, keep up with the Joneses. Do you at your own pace. That's what I would say for the future.
True. I like both of those. Well, yeah, that's pretty much this panel or this, like, little segment that we were trying to do, so I really appreciate your guys' time. Yeah, thank you. If you guys want to share your social media, you can start.
Okay, yes. Y'all can follow me at Urban Poet Snaps, and then you can also follow me at Baddie with the Locks.
Daddy with the lock. I like
Yes,
that.
thank you.
@_water. But real specific, there's gonna be 9 underscores. So you could either do the 9 underscores,
Thanks, so.
or you could just type in water and you're gonna find me.
Mine's pretty easy. It's DiVoy'e Inc. DiVoy'e INC. And on all platforms, it's the same thing on all platforms.
Yeah, mine's Trav the White on all the platforms too, so holla at your boy.
Let you boy.